ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नमस्कार my dear friends, नमस्कार. This is video number 22 on Talks with Sri Ramana Maharishi. This video onward I will make videos short because that is beneficial for all my dear friends. So I start video number 22, 21st of March 1937, talk number 375. A middle-aged Cambridge visitor asked about akarma, actionless act. Maharishi replies, whatever one does after the ego has vanished is akarma. That means effect of karma on a sadhaka is effectless after his ego is destroyed, because we undergo various rewards or punishment due to our good or bad karma under ego. After this ego is destroyed, effect of these karmas is not imposed on the sadhaka. This is a very important point. Talk number 376. A learned Telugu visitor who had composed a song in praise of Sri Bhagwan read it out, placed it at his feet and saluted. After a time he asked for Upadesha. Maharishi replies, the Upadesha is contained in Upadesha Saram. Devotee, but oral and personal instruction is valuable. Maharishi, if there be anything new and hitherto unknown Upadesha will be appropriate. Here it happens to be stilling the mind and remaining free from thoughts. Devotee, it looks impossible. Maharishi, but it is precisely the pristine and eternal state of all. Devotee, it is not perceived in our everyday active life. Maharishi, everyday life is not divorced from the eternal state so long as the daily life is imagined to be different from the spiritual life. These difficulties arise. If the spiritual life is rightly understood, the active life will be found to be not different from it. Can the mind be got at by the mind on looking for it as an object? The source of the mental functions must be sought and gained. That's the reality. One does not know the self owing to the interference of thoughts. The self is realized when thoughts subside. Devotee. Only one in a million pursues sadhanas to completion. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, stanza 3. Maharshi, whenever, whenever turbulent mind wavers then and there pull it and bring it under the control. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, stanza 26. Seeing the mind with the mind, manasa mana alokaya. So proclaim the Upanishads. Devotee, is the mind an upadhi, limiting adjunct? Maharishi, yes. 22nd March 1937, talk number 377. A middle-aged Andhra visitor, a man is said to be divine. Why then does he have regrets? Maharishi, divinity refers to the essential nature. The regrets are of Prakriti. Devotee, how is one to overcome regrets? Maharishi, by realizing the divinity in him. Devotee, how? Maharishi, by practice. Devotee, what kind of practice? Maharishi, meditation. Mind is not steady with meditation. It will be alright by practice. Devotee, how is the mind to be steadied? Mercy, by strengthening it. Devotee, how it strengthen it? How to strengthen it? Mercy, it grows strong by satsanga, the company of the wise. Devotee, shall we add prayers, etc.? Maharshi, yes. Devotee, what of the one who has no regrets? Maharshi, he is an accomplished yogi. There is no question about him. Devotee, people cite disasters, for example, earthquakes, famines, etc., to disapprove God. How shall we meet their contention? Maharshi, where from have they come? Those who argue. Devotee, they say nature. Maharshi, some call it nature, others God. Devotee, are we to keep anything against a rainy day or to live a precarious life for spiritual attainments? Mercy, God looks after everything. 27th March 1937, talk number 378. In a conversation with an Andhra visitor, Sri Bhagavan quoted, ऐसा अस्मास में महाबहो मनो दुर्निगम चलम अभ्यसेना तो कौन्तेया वैराग्येन च गृह्यते. Without doubt, O mighty armed hero, the mind is restless, hard to curb, yet by constant effort, Partha, matched with detachment, curbed it is. To explain Vairagya, Sri Bhagavan again quoted Sankalpa Prabhavan कामामंत त्याक्तवा सर्वण ऐसे स्थितः मन सावेन्द्रिया ग्रहमम विनिमया समन्तः. Having cast out without remains all longing born of thought for self, having drawn in by mind alone, his team of senses from all sides. As for practice abhyasa, सनायसनपुर्मेल बुद्धया धृति गृहीत्या आत्मा समस्थं मनः कर्तव्य न किंचिदपि चिंतयते. By slow approaches, let him come to rest with patient, rock-poised will, his mind at home in selfhood pure. Let him create no thought at all. Again for jnana, यतो यतो निश्चरति मानस चंचलम आसिरम तत्सतो नित्याम तद आत्मनेयेव वासमने. Though over and over the fickle mind, all restlessness is wandering goes, still over and over let his regain control and poise it back in self. 2nd April 1937, Talk 379. One Tirumalpad of Nilambar, a Malayali gentleman, asked Sri Bhagwan for an explanation of Atma Vidya, knowledge of the self. Maharshi replied. Sri Bhagwan explained this short piece of 5 stanzas as follows. Chidambaram is the famous place of pilgrimage associated with Nandanar, who sang the Atam Vidya is most difficult of attainment. Muruganar, a long-standing devotee of Sri Bhagavan, began, however, that Atam Vidya is the easiest of attainments. Aye Ati Sulabham is the burden of the song. Ati Sulabham is the burden of the song. In explanation of this extraordinary statement, he argued that Atma, being the self, is externally obvious even to the least of men. The original statement and the subsequent reasoning are incompatible because there need be no attainment if the self is the substratum of all selves and so obvious too. Naturally, he could not pursue the theme further and laid the first 4 lines composed by him before Sri Bhagwan for completion. Sri Bhagwan admitted the truth of the disciple's statement and pointed out why the self, though obvious, is yet hidden. It is the wrong identity of the self with the body, etc. Devotee, how did the wrong identity arise? Maharshi, due to thoughts. If these thoughts are put an end to, the real self should shine forth of itself. Devotee, how are these thoughts to be ended? Maharshi, find out their basis. All of them are strung on the single I thought. Quell it. All others are quest. Moreover, there is no use knowing all except the self. If the self is known, all others become known. Hence is self-realization the primary and sole duty of man. Devotee, how to quell the I thought? Maharshi, if its source is thought, it does not arise and thus it is quelled. Devotee, where and how to find it? Maharshi, It is in fact the consciousness which enables the individuals to function in different ways. Pure consciousness is the self. All that is required to realize the self is to be still. Devotee, what can be easier than that? Maharshi, so Atma Vidya is the easiest of attainment. Talk 380. A European gentleman asked, how do you answer the questions, who are you? Mercy, ask yourself the question, who am I? Devotee, please tell me how you have found it. I shall not be able to find it myself. The I is the result of biological forces. It results in silence. I want to know how the master finds it. Maharshi, is it found only by logic? The scientific analysis is due to intellect. Devotee, according to J.C. Bose, nature does not make any difference between a worm and a man. Mercy, what is nature? Devotee, it is that which exists. Mercy, how do you know the existence? Devotee, by my senses. Mercy, my implies your existence, but you are speaking of another's existence. You must exist to speak of my senses. There cannot be my without I. Devotee, I am a poor creature. I am a poor creature. I come to ask you, great master that you are, what this existence is. There is no special significance in the word existence. He exists, I exist, and others exist. What of that? Maharshi, the existence of anyone posited shows your own existence. Existence is your nature. Devotee, there is nothing strange in anything existing. Bhagwan. Maharshi, how do you know its existence rather than your own existence? Devotee, what is new in the existence of anything? I take up your book and read there that the one question one should ask oneself is, who am I? I want to know, who are you? I have my own answer. If another says the same, and so too millions of others, there is the probability of the self. I want a positive answer for the question and no playing with words. Mercy, in this way, you are in the region of probabilities at the best. Devotee, yes, there are no certainties. Even God cannot be proved to be absolute certainty. Mercy, leave God alone for the time being. What of yourself? Devotee, I want confirmation of the self. Mercy, you seek the confirmation from others. Each one, though addressed as you, styles himself I. The confirmation is only from I. There is no you at all. All are comprised in I. The other can be known only when the self is posited. The others do not exist without the subject. Devotee, again this is nothing new. When I was with Sir C.V. Raman, he told me the theory of smell could be explained from his theory of light. Smell need no longer be explained in terms of chemistry. Now there is something new. It is progress. That's what I mean when I say that there is nothing new in all statements I hear now. Maharshi, I is never new. It is eternally the same. Devotee, do you mean to say that there is no progress? Maharshi, progress is perceived by the outgoing mind. Everything is still when the mind is introverted and self is sought. Devotee, the science is what becomes of them. Mercy, they all end in the self. The self is their finality. It was 5 p.m. Sri Bhagwan left the hall and gentleman left for the station. So I end this video here. Next video will start with talk number 381, page 371. Thank you a lot for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video. Namaskar.